So I just took a picture of the new moon, and in the picture, it's a stop sign. And it was like, no matter how I try to adjust the photo to get the stop sign out of the photo, I still couldn't get the picture of the new moon without the stop sign. So it's something significant about, there's a sign there's a sign that you may be guided in this time to stop, like to stop something. So it's like, maybe what I'm getting is like, maybe you're being guided in this time to stop something that you've been doing, a pattern that you've been doing that have not been giving you any results. Wow. And with the new moon, oh wow, with the moon in the background, I believe it's signaling that it's a new chapter for you. It's a new beginning for you. It's time to look at things, to do things new, and to let go of the old ways of trying to do something. And I'm getting like, this is something you're learning, or this is something you're learning and being guided through. And you're being guided in this time to pay attention in this time of the patterns that you could be doing that could be like hindering you from moving forward in this time. And if you feel as though that you're not in alignment, you are. Because if you're here listening to this message, it's just a reminder of just how, this message is just a reminder of how in alignment you are, and how protected and supported, and how divinely guided you are. I'm getting, you could have been getting the signs, or you could be getting the signs, or maybe this just message is just before you continue to do whatever it is, that pattern that you could be doing. It's just this message is just here to give you a message to stop, to stop that same pattern, and to know that it's time to close it out. I'm getting that it's nearing completion. Whatever it is nearing completion. I'm getting like what you've learned. This could be like a message for you, or this could be already happening. Like you're already naturally, I'm getting you're in divine alignment no matter what. Whether this message is for you to like stop you in your tracks, or if this is just naturally going on, like you're closing out a cycle, you're learning, you having discernment, you gaining the wisdom and knowledge in something, you being in divine alignment, you knowing that how protected you are, how supported you are, and you knowing that this new chapter for you, or this new beginning for you, or this new way of being for you is meant for you to be, because you have what you need within. You have source, you have guidance, you have the inner strength, you have the inner knowledge, you have the wisdom and everything that you need to move forward. So even if no matter what angle you look at it, it's like you're still in divine alignment. Whether this is a message for you to stop right ahead, right now, or this is just happening naturally for you. Either way, I'm getting like this message is going to get to whomever it's needing to get to. I also got the color red could be significant as well. New York could be significant. I just got hot. It's something about hot. I don't know what that is. You could be feeling hot, or maybe you could be feeling like anxiety when it comes to something. I'm not sure. I just got that word as well. Anxiety. But maybe as soon as you heard this message, it may have like kind of gave you anxiety, or maybe you deal with anxiety. Oh, red. Okay, remember I said red, and I was like red could be significant, then I said hot. So there's something that's significant about the root chakra. There's something significant about like your root chakra, and your root chakra, that's where anxiety comes from. That's where anxiety stems from, when it's, a blockage, or when, there's energy that needs to be moved. And it reminds me of that time where I spoke of like abandoning energy, and how, it can make you feel when it's not healed. I remember bringing up a video, like I was talking about my childhood, and like, I see someone like shaking their leg or rocking back and forth. And I remember when I brought up this in the past, of like me being in high school, and I had someone who sat beside me. He was left-handed and I was left-handed. And it's funny how I look back now as like just how much we act alike. It was like he was the male version of me, and I was the female version of him in some ways. But what's funny is like we stayed arguing about we stayed arguing about, because two left-handed people sitting by each other, like we write a certain way. So we was very irritable. We was very irritable about our space. But one of the things that he did and I would pick up on, or I did and he would pick up on, like when the teacher was teaching, he would rock back and forth. And so if I caught him rocking, I would rock back and forth. And I mentioned this in messages ago, like years ago, where I was talking about like when it was time for me to go back and when I was doing my healing, that image came to me, and it was just speaking of like that rocking. I would get like that when I was anxious, and he would get like that when he was well, now I've learned that he would be anxious, and that was his way of calming himself down. And he would shake his leg. I didn't shake my leg. I just rocked back and forth. And so when it was time for me to heal, it pointed to that scene, because it was saying like, the root, the abandoned energy. Like a lot of time when the root chakra is not healed, that comes from a lot of things: feeling unstable, feel not secure, feeling abandoned, just all those type of energies, and I even brought up in a video before of just how, how when you're a baby, when you're small, and when to make babies feel comfortable, what do parents do? They rock them back and forth. They stand and they rock them back and forth. They sway them back and forth. And so I had got that. I had got that image when it was time for me to heal. It's like, okay, I didn't have that when I was small, or it's not that I didn't have it. It's like, it just reminded me of that mothering energy, that parent energy of rocking me back and forth. I didn't have that. So what I did when I got older, I did it for myself. So I rock back and forth, and that helped me with my anxiety. So what happens when a baby crying? You rock them back and forth. What do you do when a baby is upset? You rock them back and forth. So I feel as though like when we were younger, we did that not knowing that we were trying to heal ourselves, and we were trying to comfort ourselves in intensifying moments. Because, just sitting in a classroom and just like sometimes just sitting in a classroom and, and this is something I've noticed, I've learned, it's like, sitting in a classroom when you got so much going on in your personal life, or when you sitting in a classroom and like, there's just stuff going on at home and you can't explain, and you got to sit and listen to a teacher. I'm not saying I'm not saying anything negative of it, but just going back to it, I just know, as for me, and I know other children may deal with that, it's like, it's hard for you to sit still. It's hard for you to not have that on your mind. So you try to find a way to rock, to do something or do something else to get yourself together, especially if there's things in the past that, that's coming up as you are this child or a teenager or whatever. So just going back to what I was saying, and I didn't mean to get all off subject, but hopefully this is able to help whomever it is to help, because maybe it can help you in another way. I'm not sure, but I know that by me bringing this up, you're going to be able to see a perspective in your life where you've done this or do this. But going back to what I was saying, when it was time for me to heal, that scene had those scenes had came up for me, and it was just letting me know, like, not only was I probably dealt with that, but he probably dealt with that as well. Now mine went more further on, because I also, not only was it abandonment energy, but I also had got molested when I was smaller as well. I don't know if that happened to him, but I know on my end that's what happened. that had to happen as well. So that was another way of trying to comfort, that anxiety, and try to, rock back and forth to help with because it helped me listen more. It helped me stay calm. And I'm just getting for someone, that's something that you could do. Like, you either kind of, move, you either kind of rock back and forth, or you do the leg, how people shake their leg, or you do both at the same time. There could be something more into that you maybe got in this time to look into. I'm not trying to put anything on you. I'm not trying to be your doctor, but I know that one thing that I know how to do is look at things in a different way. And if you haven't listened to me, and if you haven't seen the proof, and if you haven't seen just how I give things, and the perspective it brings, and the solution it brings, I ask that you go back and listen to the videos and see how I've put things together, or just take a chance. One thing that I'm really good at, and I'm just learning this throughout the years, like, I don't try to make anyone do anything. There's so many people's lives that I've changed, and this is me now. I'm not trying to be all egoic, but this is something that I gotta bring to light, because I have to give myself, I tried to hide this for so long, but I know it's the truth. But one thing that I have done is change people's lives. Like, I don't just change people. I've changed people's lives, like whole lives. Like, people have not been the same. Don't be certain people don't be, when people who want to change, when they come around me, they change. I've changed their lives. And some of the things that I've changed people, some people I've changed by them just watching me. Some people have changed just by the words that I say. Some people have changed just by trying to prove me wrong. So, and there's other ways that I've changed people as well. My stories, or just by me just being me. And like I said, there's more, but also trying to prove me wrong. I've had I've had testimonies of people just saying, like, they gonna do it just so that they can prove me wrong. They'll do something just so that they can prove me wrong, and then it end up working. And I love hearing stuff like that, because it's like, or I may say something and they like, I'm gonna try this, or I'm gonna do this, or I may bring up something in a time. I've always said, like, I come at the right place and in the right time. Like, today I had my client I had brought her something, and she was already feeling, it's like, I already knew, and I brought it just in time. And it's like, I could see on her face where she built trust with me. I saw it. I looked at her, and when I brought it and when I left and I brought it up, I was like, see, I was just in time. And it was like a face that she made. And it was like, something just settled within her. Something just settled within her when it came to what I just said. But going back to what I was saying, like, so where was I going? Oh, yeah. So I'm not trying to tell anyone. One thing about me, I don't have to make anyone listen to me. I don't have to make anyone do anything. They're going to do it regardless. And people going to do things, off many things. It could be to prove you wrong. It could be because you look the part, or they know it, and they just watching. It could be many of things. And one thing I'm not going to do, I'm not going to try to make anyone do anything. I just don't see the purpose in it. I don't see the purpose in it at all, because it's like, the only thing you can be, I just try to be the testimony, and I just try to be a solution, a God in any type of way. But going back to what I was saying, like, you don't have to. I'm not trying to make anyone do anything, just try it, and if you don't like it, don't do it to prove me wrong. But there's something about root work, some people don't believe in, and I only went that far because some people don't believe in, and when I say root work, I meant root chakra, working on the root, working on your chakras, starting at the root, starting at the base. I've said it before. It's like the foundation. With my clients, I have to tell them, I'm like, okay, we got to start from the ground up. I want you to look at this as a house. And it's the same thing when it comes to, like, even your spirituality. It's like, or your healing, whatever you want to call it. It's like starting from the base. You want to start from the base so you can make it strong. You got to get into the base. What made your stability unstable? What made your security unsecure? What made what made it faulty? You want to get into that. So what I was saying, just going back to what I'm saying, it's like, okay, it's the root chakra. So I brought up stop for a reason. I brought up red for a reason. I brought up the new moon for a reason. And, I just hope that this, message is significant.